Hi, my name is Christopher Kao, and I'm here with PhillyByDrone.com. Today I'm going to be talking about the incredible benefits of aerial panoramic photography before a building is even constructed, which is mind-blowing. Anyways, Philly by Drone is, we've been flying drones for around 2 years now, not just in Philadelphia, but also in California. We regularly go out to the suburbs and areas around Philly. And we're regularly advised by a very talented team, which includes the former global head executive of YouTube, a handful of Wharton marketing and real estate professors, and some of the brightest minds in real estate around the world. Today we'll be talking about aerial panoramas. First, we'll talk a bit about the history of aerial panoramas, and then we'll go into how it can benefit you as a developer and conclude with some concluding thoughts. So, hundreds of U.S. developments are using aerial panoramas, and they've mostly been centered around New York and Chicago. In the past couple decades, aerial panoramas were used. They costed almost $50,000, $100,000. They were shot by specially equipped helicopters for 80-story tall buildings in New York and Chicago. Today, the tides have really turned as drones are a lot more cost efficient, and so now any developer can really afford these amazing views that have been used. Just to give you a sense of what we're talking about, let's show you a couple of aerial panoramas. So over here, we're looking at the Ritz-Carlton residences in Waikiki Beach, Hawaii. Sounds like a great place to be right now, especially because it's going to be raining the next couple days here in Philadelphia. But you'll notice that this is an interactive panorama. You could go around in any direction you want. And what's very mind-blowing is the fact that if you look down, the building's not even there yet. The whole purpose of this photo was to showcase what residents of the building would see before the building's even constructed to really help out their leasing office, their investors, their development team. You could toggle through different floors to see the differences in floors, and we'll talk a bit about view-based pricing in a couple minutes to give you a sense of that as well. Additionally, here in New York, not here, we're in Philly, but in New York, there's a building called One Seaport, and they have also used panoramic shots to showcase their amazing location next to the river and right next to Wall Street and Lower Manhattan. So to continue, we're going to be talking about the three main benefits for developers for aerial panoramas. The first benefit is accelerated pre-sales. And then the next two slides, we'll talk about view-based pricing. And lastly, we'll finish off with what investor buy-in from aerial panoramas and some next steps. So One Riverside, a couple years ago in 2015, before the building was even constructed, they had an aerial panorama shot to showcase the views from their property. And you notice that they had different times. They shot sunset, sunrise, different floors. You notice the Evo building is still being finished. FMC hasn't even broken ground yet. And so this is what they had. And aerial panoramas are useful not just in the physical world, but also in the online world. So in the physical world, though, Norm Ecker, who we got to talk to, is the senior sales associate at Dranoff. And on the bottom picture, you'll see this computer monitor that is touchscreen, and this was used before the building even broke ground. Norm shared that he literally closed like half of his sales in front of this monitor because seeing the view was the tipping point for most of his clients that he signed on. Additionally, from the online presence, nowadays people are all finding out about properties years before they're built, looking at the websites online. And with the Waikiki Ritz-Carlton, they actually did an A/B testing on their website in September 2016. They randomized it so half of the visitors saw the interactive panorama and half of them saw a normal photo, just a rendering of the future landscape. And what it turns out is that people who saw the interactive panorama were 2.5 times more likely to send in an inbound request for more information, which is insane. Additionally, they were also on the website longer, which means they viewed more of the pages as well. Another benefit of aerial panoramas for developers is giving very crystal clear input for view-based pricing. And this is perfectly demonstrated with East Market, developed by National Real Estate. It's on Market Street around 11th or 12th Street. So our contact there was Charles, and he commissioned Philly by Drone to take drone photography, looking at different views from specific floors and specific heights at specific rooms. The whole NREA team beforehand, they had assumed that the north views were the most pleasing because they thought people would want to see Market Street and the City Hall to the west. However, and as a result of that, they also changed all the pricing, discounted all of the south units. However, after seeing our panoramic views with our drone photography, their entire team quickly realized that the south views were actually a lot nicer than they thought. And in fact, Charles personally thought the south view looked even nicer than the north view. They've quickly raised all the prices on the south units as a result of our photos. Lastly is investor buy-in. A lot of times we're seeing foreign investors investing in the United States. For instance, Jeff Brown at Brown Hill Development from Bridge on Race, he told about interest from Chinese investors. And at first it was difficult to bring them on because they had never been to Philadelphia and didn't fully appreciate the value of Old City's location. Drone photos allowed them to showcase to their investors how amazing their location was. And in addition, Schuylkill Yards in University City is being developed by Brandywine over 20 to 30 years in coalition with the 30th Street Development Group. And they have, we shot panoramic shots to showcase the view that their new commercial building will see once it goes up after the first phase. So this is an incredible view because it's really hard to imagine what the building would see from the ground. And you notice that right now it's just empty parking structure, also known as the empty parking lot next to Megabus. So in conclusion, aerial panoramas are by far the new trend, and we see it rapidly expanding across the whole United States. Philly by Drone is the only one that offers this in the Philadelphia region, and I think a lot of it's because we have a team of software engineers that's working behind the scenes to generate the custom HTML and CSS, JavaScript to embed this easily into your website as a landing page and even into your showroom as an interactive touchscreen display. The three main benefits for developers: first, we talked about accelerated pre-sales with One Riverside. We talked about view-based pricing with East Market looking towards the south. And lastly, investor buy-in, showing some of the foreign investors and long-term investors what the location's like. My name is Christopher Kao. I work at phillybydrone.com. Please send us an email. We'd really love to hear your thoughts. And we shoot not just in Philly, but in other areas as well. We're willing to travel. Give us a shout out. Thank you.